Fait que je vais commencer.
Ok. Bon, la porte,
Oh boy, elle a de la bad shit tapéco, là. Bonne chance! Hi! Let me know if you can hear and see. Hold on, I gotta set up my screen. Okay. What's in the cup? It's a Dalgona coffee. Cafes in French. It's basically you whip sugar, water, and instant coffee together until it becomes like a mousse, and you pour that on top of cold milk, and then you mix everything. It's the new trendy thing. I don't know if you can see. Whoop! There's a milk under there, and the frothy coffee on top. Very good. Hi Phoebe, hi Dan, hi Mikey. Yeah, it's the super trendy thing, so it's kind of everywhere right now. I had to try. And it's actually quite good. I really like the fact that it's not super sweet, but it still has a tiny bit of sweetness. And you can basically pour the mousse on top of any kind of milk you like. So I like to use unsweetened milk, unsweetened oat milk. It's called Dalgona coffee, Dalgona. You whip the water, the sugar, and the instant coffee together. Like, not a lot of it, just like about a teaspoon, half a tablespoon per person, equal amounts, and you put that in a bowl. You whip it until it becomes all frothy and moussey. I use a hand mixer. Hey Otto! Yay! Yes, I made it again. I don't think my mousse is as floofy as it could be. Like, it doesn't really make peaks or whatever, but it's close enough. I mean, I don't have any muscles, so I was holding my hand mixer like that, and my arm was like aching, and I was like, okay, I'm a wuss. Close enough. Close enough. Though, did you notice, Otto, how the mousse frothy mix is so sticky? I use a bowl and mixer, and I don't think my bowl is good for it. And sometimes it like splatter around, and it is so sticky. So sticky. And like, I was trying to pour the mousse in my cup, and it dripped on. It was a mess. I was like, ah! And you have to clean it up because it gets super sticky. It's basically just sugar. And oh, you preferred soft whip, so a bit like this, I guess. Like very soft. It's delicious. Soft whip, hard whipped, mixed with cold water, hot water. What's your favorite combination, Otto? Oh, instant coffee is kind of sticky. This is possibly the first time I try really instant coffee. I tried it once before, and it was awful. It was so acidic, and it just did a number on me, and I was like, ugh. But I took my time, and I tried to buy the kind of a less acidic, fancier instant coffee, and so far it's okay. It has a bit of an aftertaste, but it's pretty good. Can I use a milk whisk? I don't know, possibly? Yeah, if you use a hand whisk, it can work, but you're gonna have to whisk it a lot. Hey, Stephen, hi! Cold water, soft whip on cold oat milk is my favorite. Noted. I have oat milk in there. It's unsweetened vanilla oat milk. Hey, Malvina! Hello! you don't need expensive coffee for this one. Your supermarket owned brand is fine. Yeah, I know, but it's just that I was worried it would be too acidic. And I got like caffeinated coffee, so there was kind of a lot of way too many options. So I kind of ended up choosing based upon the color and size of the granules. And yeah. Like everything in my grocery run was super quick because doing groceries these days is a nightmare. But I took a couple of minutes in front of the wall of instant coffee and I was like, I know nothing of this stuff. I was comparing, like, trying to, and you cannot really touch everything. I mean, I tried not to touch everything, but I was like checking around and like making faces, trying to see on labels. Oh, okay, not me specifically. Yeah, that's the thing. You don't need, in general, one doesn't need super fancy instant coffee, as long as you have a brand that you like. If you like the taste of whatever brand, it's perfect. I went to the supermarket, but then saw the queue outside and gave up. Yeah, oh my gosh, that was my experience yesterday. We decided to go to the grocery store yesterday after lunch. Because oh, by the way, hi Toasty Art and Alex. Hi guys. So yeah, we went to the grocery store yesterday. Oh guys, check this out. I added this guy to my family. It's a Blackwing. It has the coast of California in gold on it, and I got the gold tip to match the ferrule. You can see this one is not sharpened yet, but yeah, I really love these. Anyway, so okay, grocery store run. Yeah, we went not last week, but the week before. We went on Friday evening, and there was a queue, and it was a nightmare because they decide to allow only like a low amount of people in the store, and you can only go in one person per family. So usually we go, the two of us, shopping for groceries because that's kind of easier. And I think I mentioned this last week. So oh, this is not a long point sharpener. Look at this stubby point. So yeah, so we went again this week, like yesterday, and it was still one person per family. So I went in and I decided to be super quick about it. But yeah, like I said, the instant coffee was the place where I kind of stalled, and I was like, and you've heard most of these brands before, stuff like Nescafe and Taster's Choice, and I don't know. And I was just like, I just had this onslaught of coffee jingles in my head, but no idea what was better. And yeah, there was a long queue outside the grocery store yesterday too. Mikey says, I wonder if I'm allowed to drink oat milk. Not allowed to have oats because of kidney stones. They have oxalates in them. I wouldn't risk it then. I think oat milk is great for people who have nut allergies and soy allergies, but if you don't have any of these issues, if you can have the milk that you can have, honestly. We decided to opt for this one because it's kind of our favorite. It's creamy and it's really inexpensive. But yeah, I mean, whatever you want to use, you use. Oh, this is delicious. Hey, Maureen. Hi. So Otto says, there was an old lady yelling at everyone to get away from her. Spitting because shouting without a mask. If you're that worried, wear a mask. Oh gosh. Yeah, we need to regroup the Otto posse. I haven't seen any of that here. I mean, the only thing I've seen that was getting on my nerves because I'm a troglodyte is there were a lot of people in line who would, like, you could tell that these people were absolutely missing human interaction, and they were talking with everyone in line and nonstop, and I was like, shut up. enough of this. Ah! But yeah, that's just me and my usual grumpiness, I guess. Really, again, Otto. Otto says, I had a group of people who saw me and rapidly covered up their face with their jacket collars today. I was wearing a mask. I kind of want to punch people. Oh, good grief. I kind of want to yell at them like, it's to protect you dumbasses. You know, when people wear masks, it's not because, I don't know, or it's to protect me from you dumbasses. But it's just, it's so not part of the North American, well, even in Europe, but the culture of the mask is not there. So people don't know when they see someone with a mask. Is it because they're like immunocompromised? Is it because they're sick, or is it because they want to protect themselves? So people overreact in a very stupid way. I'm so sorry, Otto. I'm getting used to it. That sucks. I mean, you shouldn't have to go through that. That's absolutely bat poop crazy. Husband gets very protective. Good job. I support that. I would yell at them. I mean, Jesus. Like, the thing is with humans in general, it's kind of always a gamble, because it happened to me a lot of times. Like, you try to talk reasonably to someone and they completely overreact. And like, I never know if someone does something as absolutely disgusting as what Otto is retelling. Like, if you yell at them, will they just make the situation worse, or will they get the message? Mikey says, F ignorant people. I hate hearing stories like that. Although it's like throat punch is necessary. I agree. Think about the comedy if I did, where I'm Scott Irish from USA, I can whine lightly about these dumb fringers and reference myself. And did agree for a while at first. Yeah, you could show them that. That's the thing. People don't like to be told that they're awful. So it can backfire really bad. Like the one time I was in the post office and a guy was talking so loud on his phone we couldn't hear anyone else. Like, I was trying to talk with the clerk at the postal counter and we couldn't hear each other. So the postal counter was like, sir, could you talk less loud, please? And the guy lost his marbles. He started yelling at us. Like, I can do whatever I want. If I want to talk loud, I can. You won't tell me what to do, rah, rah, rah. And he was really, really disrespectful and gross. And I was like, if I had Jedi powers, I would not be a nice Jedi, guys. Oh, I'm so sorry, Otto. Otto says, I just don't look at people as they walk by me now. If I don't see it, it can't hurt me. Angry. I'm really angry. This is not good, not cool. Good. Jesus. I can't. I hate it. It just sucks so much. Oh, I would absolutely go to the dark side. I would. I might be like a gray Jedi. Not good, not dark. Kind of a mix of both. So from afar, it looks gray. Yeah, we should absolutely make a shirt. Like if we ever do a big get together or something, we need shirts that say like a Toes Angry Posse. And all the posse members wear them. Oh, by all means. Vent as much. 50 Shades of Eve. Wah! I mean, I was always told that your freedom stops when someone else's freedom starts, or something like that. It's in French, so I don't know if it translates exactly to that. So I'm always bothered by people who will step all over other people, especially if the reason they do that is because they are dumb and they lack empathy. Like, it's not very difficult to put yourself in other people's shoe, and at least try. Like, how would you feel if this happened to you? Would you feel good? No, so don't do it. Only if we could also have matching sunglasses. Oh, that would be really nice. We need like aviator. Are those not trendy anymore? They look good though. I really don't get their mentality, especially since America makes up most of the cases now. I wonder if how many people in the US are aware of just how much cases there are in the US. Marina says, I work in an arena and we are still getting paid. That's awesome. But I'm so worried for those that still need to work in the pharmacies and grocery stores. I could tell yesterday they are so stressed and overworked. They really are. Oh my gosh, these poor guys. I saw... I got notices from a local chain of grocery stores that they were hiring people right now. So it's kind of weird. Like, a lot of jobs fell through, but they need more people for the essential jobs. So I really don't know how that pans out. But yeah, they are exhausted. I mean, we can see it. And there's like not that much people can do except do their part, like by staying home and like not coughing on people. The aviators that are super reflective and polarized. Aye. Is that a good aye, or is that a like yikes aye? They are hiring on the spot at Sam's Club. That's awesome. Hey Carolyn, hi. Yeah, they do amazing work, and I'm not quite sure how we can possibly thank them for it. And like, you could tell that everyone is kind of tired and exhausted, but so far I've seen no one be rude or mean or lost their patience with the confused people. Starting Monday here, they also have to start policing how many people enter the store. The person who does that will get yelled at all day. You think so? I don't think so. Like, I have seen it 2 weeks in a row at my grocery store, and the dude that manages who comes in and who comes out, I mean, For the time I've waited there, no one yelled at that person. Like some get a bit flustered when they're told that it's only one person per family, because that's kind of confusing, and sometimes sometimes you need a moment to decide who goes in, like depending on who pays or who knows what we need, or that kind of stuff. But I haven't seen that many yelly people here. Maybe it's just because it's Canada, but oh, it's good. Okay, the aviators are good. We'll be stylish. We will be stylish. Alex says a lot of older conservative newscaster will say are like, it's not as bad as the flu, get over yourselves, blah blah. Is it all on Fox? Fox News. Where else? Amisha! Hey, I got your letter, by the way. Thank you so much. I picked it up at the P.O. Box on Friday, I think. Your daughter-in-law works in the grocery and puts in 54 hours last week. Yay! I hope she gets a good pay. I mean, that's the thing. If you are kind of obligated to do the work, I hope that they get something, like, in return. Something good. Sorry. Amazon here is giving $19 an hour when they usually don't pay $10 here. So that's like a 200% increase in salary. That's pretty amazing. Where are you at, Maureen? Just as a frame of reference. Oh, definitely. The price of potatoes has practically doubled since February. Yikes! Amazon has the money to increase the salary of their workers. So Otto says, it was weird. The supermarket had a long queue outside. Across the road there was an Indian market, shelves fully stocked, loads of fresh produce, no one going in. Guess which one I went in. This is totally the time to be flexible. Yeah, what the... Dude, what? I feel sorry for these guys, though. Yeah, that's kind of a bummer, but I'm glad you were able to get awesome fresh stuff and not have to wait. Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. Well, that's really awesome. Oreos cost went through the roof here. I think that's is that Alex's fault? Alex, are you the one who's been eating all the Oreos? Someone's been eating a lot of Oreos. Makes me laugh. I haven't seen a lot of price increases in things, specifically. I think some things are just not there, and some things are there and at the regular price. Maybe produce would shift more because that's kind of the most fluctuating thing, but usually stuff like cookies, they are either on sale at a specific price or their regular price. I didn't notice anything special, but that might just be me. I don't know how that stuff works. Hey Gwen, hi. I keep calling people by their first name, so if I'm not doing it right and if I need to say both names, please tell me. Do you guys do that? Do you guys pick on your like fingers? I always, especially in the winter, my fingers are like so dry and crackly that I end up picking on them. And I picked my thumb open just before I got into the grocery store yesterday, and Mr. E was pretty discouraged about that, like face palmed. Yes, that might not be a terrible thing. I've been stress eating Oreos lately. I'm going to need bigger pants and insulin by the end of the quarantine. I think that's your fault. The price of Oreos has risen. No, it's okay. This is a good place for all the feelings. As long as everybody stays civil. Dude, the insulin thing is funny, not funny, right? The stress eating is terrible. Just Gwen is fine. Awesome. Yeah, I know, right? The stress eating, I think people have like kind of two recurrent reactions to the situation. People are either stress eating or stress cooking. Because like there's no flour, there's no yeast at all at the grocery store, it's all gone. So I think people are like losing their mind and baking a lot. You're good if you are able to not pick at them. I get really bothered because like they will snag into clothing and stuff and paper, and I'm always like and I have to oh no, that's a good one, but good grief. Maureen says there's the freshman 15 and now the COVID-19. Ouch. Or both stress eating and stress cooking. Yeah, that's the thing too. Well, I mean, you've just baked something, you gotta eat it, right? Exactly. Otto says I stress cook, then I eat it. Exactly. Stress cooking. Phoebe says I've been making more sweets than usual, but my stress relief is from painting. Oh, that's good. Gwen says, and my boyfriend is cooking. Oh, hold on. Gwen says, I'm stress cooking, and my boyfriend is cooking so much because he has so much time. Yeah. Someone said one way to keep the pounds off and prevent bored stress eating is to do more puzzles, because it keeps your attention for longer. Yeah, but where do you get the puzzles, though? Stress knitting, crafting? Probably. COVID-19, we're looking at COVID-30 by the end of this. Oh no! I need a long point pencil sharpener. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, there it is. I've gone back to playing online Sudoku. Well, I mean, why not? Hey Lana, hi! Try cracking the cryptic for Sudoku and variations. Gwen says my sister is knitting for the whole family. She is a uni student and is bored at home. That's some good ASMR sharpening. It is, right? I was talking with Mr. E, and we were talking about the question of wondering whether there would be a baby boom after this period of quarantine, and apparently it's kind of the opposite that's going on. Like, apparently when they kind of ended the quarantine in China, there were a really big increase in divorces, and there's also generally a big increase in domestic violence, which is absolutely awful. But yeah, that's kind of That's kind of a bummer reaction to the whole thing. It's kind of weird. Hey, Viridian Francis, hi. I think there will be a divorce boom. James thinks it's gonna be baby boom. Millennials are not baby friendly. That's a very fair point. There's a huge spike of divorces and domestic violence and corona babies. Extremism on either side of the fence. I don't think there will be a baby boom. Unlike the world wars, it's not the young we're losing. That's an interesting point. Yeah, I really enjoyed the Instagram streams too, Otto. Whenever I can catch them though. But the one I caught was really awesome. I was really wondering how you managed to set up your camera to to film and crochet at the same time while in bed. I agree, but that's Otto says, I mean, what sensible person would get pregnant when we don't know what congenital effects corona has? I agree, but you kind of presume that everybody's intelligent here. And unfortunately, just through numbers and stats, that's not possible. Hannah says, to be honest, I would be okay with the baby boom, so my retirement pension will be safe. Alex says, also bear in mind, a lot of people in their 30s are needing some amount of in vitro fertility assistance because we've subjected our bodies to years of overworking and eating crap. I don't have a lot of knowledge about that. I'm trying to think about the people I've seen who had kids. It was either two things. Either people would go like, oh, we want to have a kid, so I stopped taking the pill and fell immediately pregnant. And I was like, what? Yee. Or people who needed in vitro, and it was really more difficult for them. That's exactly what James said. Yeah, I mean, I've seen my fair share of people at this time who seem to be absolutely bored. I'm not saying I get it. Like, I've always been the type of person who has something to do, but I also understand that that's not a thing everyone experiences. Some people apparently manage to get bored. Hobbies help keep one sane. Yeah. Which is why I guess that if your hobby is to go outside and play sports, that can be problematic. Since no one is supposed to be out. But, yeah, I mean... Some people are just like... absolutely... like, they don't know what to do with themselves. And they're like, but... I don't know. Find something. Learn something new. Watch movies. I mean... Hey, Tsukabu, hi. So Dan says, I think as well that will contribute to it. Not everyone lives with their significant other, so they aren't able to spend any time together. That's another good point. Yeah, Otto, how are the gerbils? It's been quite some time since a gerbil update. Oof, there was a lot of coffee in that sip. Yikes. Oh, so strong. Oh, wow. So, Otto says James had all 4 of them eating out of his hand last night. That's so cool. It's so nice that they're getting more and more comfortable. Tsugabu says, I'm lucky enough that to be able to stress art and make paint, during the weekdays. I don't think I find myself very stressed. Maybe I should, but it's kind of not a stress of being antsy and what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like this pent-up energy. It's more kind of a stress that's more like more of a bummer impression. Like instead of having all this energy, I feel like I don't have that. It's difficult to explain. Francis says, the most trouble I'm having is with self-discipline and time management. Not that this is very new, but I've had a difficult time making myself do things in a timely enough manner. Yeah, that kind of needs a bit of trial and error before it's easier to do. Sorry. Hiccups. I need some water. Something that is not super strong coffee. Alex says, we're going to my parents next weekend to pick up some leftovers, mostly so Mom doesn't worry about us starving. They'll leave it outside for us so we don't risk getting them sick. I'm going to ask them to leave the dogs out in the yard so we can run around and play with them to blow off some steam. That's a good idea. That's adorable. Amisha says, I've been painting to relieve stress all along, but then I tried to do a self-portrait. It's been stress-inducing as I suck at portraiture, but practice is the only way to improve, right? Absolutely. Like, 200% true. Mikey says, my hamster Tango turns 2 on 420. Oh no. Maureen says, my mom lives in another state and I stress about her well-being. I was stressed about being furloughed. I don't know how to say that. But then I did math and I found I would make more furloughed through July 29th. Oh, well. And you got some time to do stuff that's on the to-do list too. It says, out of the three, hamster, rats, gerbils are the cleanest. They love to have a separate toilet and toilet train themselves. That's amazing. That's really awesome. For once that we're not just talking about cats. Which ones of those between hamsters, rats, gerbils, and lemmings? Which ones are daytime, active in the daytime, and which ones are active in the nighttime? I know that hamsters are more nocturnal, and gerbils seem to be more diurnal. But I don't know much about that. Gerbils all day, rats all day. And hamsters are more like nighttime. From what I remember. I really like the tuft of fluff on the gerbil's tail. That's absolutely cute. Oh yeah, by all means, Francis, the Discord is a really fun place to hang out. We basically all chill over there and talk about stuff. Lana says that lemmings are both. It changes every 2-4 hours, but they're most active in the morning and evening hours. So just like a cat. When I had a mouse, she slept during the day and went on her wheel at night. But as she got older, she'd sleep during the night too. Aww. Hamsters are crepuscular. I give up. Oh, words. Why? Yeah, the Discord channel has a lot of pet pictures of all kinds, like hamsters, gerbils, a lot of cats, dogs. Yeah, no, my English totally noped out on that word. It is so weird, because in French it's a very straightforward word, but in English it gets all weird. Crepuscule, I mean, what? Crépuscule, I mean, that's pretty much straightforward, but where's the pew you coming from in English? What? Snails? Oh yeah, we have snails. We have fishies and snails. That's true. And yeah, oh my gosh, I forgot so many of them. Fish, bunnies, birds. That's very true. I really enjoy seeing Jen's aquarium. Hey, Paulo! So glad to see you. It was really nice to see you during Lindsay's live stream too. How are you doing? How are things over there? Paulo is our resident chemist. Is that the word? So there's always kind of really interesting insight when we talk about the like really deep pigment stuff. Sometimes pictures of cats in trees with captions like, "Hey, do you guys know what kind of bird this is?" Oh, that one made me laugh so much. Out loud. I mean, I was not expecting that. Paulo says, trying to cope with the lockdown and the online classes. Are you teaching the online classes? How is that going? I keep having dreams that I'm like redoing the program, the animation program I did in college for the second time. and I'm like at the end of the second of 3 years, and I decided I want to drop out of it because I don't want to finish it. I keep having this dream, like, and I don't know what it means. I hope it means nothing, but I'm fairly convinced that most of the weird dreams are grounded on some feeling of reality. So maybe I'm just stressed out and I don't notice it. I have been here, but I didn't have the guts to say anything. And it's great to be so... Well, we are always glad to see you. And it's perfectly fine if you want to lurk around too. Like, this is... The point of this thing is to be super chill. Like, there's no... The only thing I'm adamant about is that people play nice. That's the only thing. Like, we can argue, we can disagree on many things, but as long as people stay nice, I'm fine with it. I'm a Zoom streamer now. Ooh. I've never heard of Zoom as a streaming platform, but I bet they are finding a lot of new users at the moment. I've only heard of the streaming options on Twitch. Not Twitch, sorry, Discord. And how you can sort of stream to many people at once, and Discord made it possible to stream. I think the limit before was like 10 people, and I think they increased it to like 50 so that it can help with teachers who want to teach classes. And I was like, this is great. Like, there are things that are going down the toilet in a nice spin, but there are people rising up, and situation and companies that are rising up, and that kind of makes me happy to see. Like, if this is a time where everybody should work together to make things as good as possible. And when it doesn't happen, it's a bummer. But when it does happen, that's pretty great. Oh no! I didn't comment out on any post for almost 5 years because I was too nervous to do. Aw. If you need a laugh, pull up the video of Chris Cuomo and Andrew Cuomo talking, and Chris telling Andrew about his fever dream of him dancing. Oh my gosh, wow. Zoom has been hard for me because the practical classes have to be done. Oh, do you have to record the video beforehand and just like broadcast it? Hey, Ellen! Ellen says, was just finishing up some cosmetic painting at the store while it's closed. Hope everyone is doing well. Oh, that's awesome! I hope you're doing well too. And then I share the results. Oh, wow. That's a really different way to do things. Hey, Nicole. Hi, guys. Sometimes I realize that my sketches are kind of wonky. I'm like, yikes. Well, and then I tell myself, well, it's you know, it's a sketch. I mean, it would be better if it wasn't wonky, but still gonna roll with it for now. The work they were supposed to do on the computational lab. Ooh. Nicole says, I have been able to telecommute for work, but the downside is being salaried and having to work 70 hours a week. Trying to create new artwork for advertisement is draining my... Oh, I'm so sorry. You're working in graphic design, I guess. Somewhat. Tsukamu says, hopefully this virus thing won't be forever. It shouldn't be forever. But I'm calling 2020 the year that noped. I absolutely agree. That's really the feeling I'm getting to. Sketches are really cool. Oh, thank you so much, Paolo. Like, it's just like, I'm angled, and then I look at my drawing it on, and I'm like, yay, everything is cute. Oh, that's so awesome, Ellen. Your boss is a really nice person. Oh yeah, I saw that. Alex says, have you guys seen the video of 7th grade math teacher streaming his online class via VR? Because he could use multiple whiteboards marker in-game. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. Wonky. It's just like I was looking at this oval head shape and I was like, it's kind of a bit it's what we used to refer to as having floating features. Sometimes the face features are not exactly at the proper places, and it kind of looks like they're floating inside of the head shape. Did the quiet student write more? I think they're just asleep. Oh no. But I don't mind. Oh, that's kind of a great thing, though. The fact that people can rewatch a class if they want to. Because, I mean, it's stressful for students, too. So I figured if someone is a bit distracted during a lesson or missed a part of it because something came up, it's quite nice that they can rewatch it. And it also means that all your work is even more valued that way. Like it has it has replay value, if I can say that. What really gets me is not seeing their faces, having no eye contact. Oh, yeah, that's gotta feel a bit lonely. Ellen says, I basically work for old Mr. Fezziwig in A Christmas Carol, who was Scrooge's soft-hearted first employer. Aww. Hey, Paulo, did you get Animal Crossing? Who got Animal Crossing in the chat? As long as I don't get thumbs down. Is there a thumbs up, thumbs down rating on Zoom? That's awkward. I did, Otto. In fact, this is kind of funny. One of my friend has it. I asked her, like, hey, are you playing this? I knew both her and her boyfriend had a Switch, the platform, like the console, but I didn't know if they were interested in Animal Crossing at all. So I asked, and she said, oh yeah, my boyfriend bought it and I've been playing it, and it's been such a relief in these times because it's so chill and you can just log in there and collect bugs and fishes and stuff. And I was like, I've seen like a lot of people play, and I was really interested in getting the game, but I I don't have the money exactly for it. So I was like, I was trying to get Mr. E to buy it for me. And then my friend popped up on Instant Messenger something, and she said, hey, did you get it? And I was like, nah, not yet. And she said, well, don't. And I was like, what? And basically she got it for me in a way. So yeah, I've just started playing it, like basically like just started, so I'm still like bumbling around, but I agree, it's quite fun. Otto says I have it, and it has been quite a distraction. It's a good distraction though, I think, in these times, because it's a really nice disconnect from reality. Even though they made available a face mask, like a doctor's mask, and I was like, yeah, sure. All right. I'm just kidding about the thumbs up down. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad, because that would be kind of a bummer. So yeah, I basically just have it. I know, it's so cool. I was like, I got teary-eyed. I was like, but thank you. and yeah, and oh my gosh, I love it. I kind of spent like some time playing it this morning. Like I don't often take weekend time. Wait, what? I didn't say that I don't have a Switch. What? I don't even have a TV. You don't have a TV, huh? But we have a TV, but it's mostly for Netflix and games. We don't watch anything networky on it. Like we don't have cable. We don't use the TV as a TV. It's basically just a big screen for games and Netflix. But you bet your bum I'm getting a copy. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely worth it, Sukabu. Oh, is it your own Switch, Paulo? That's awesome. I absolutely get the idea of having, and it's kind of one. It's a bit expensive. The Switch Lite is a bit less expensive, so that's pretty nice that they made this option that's more affordable. But yeah, it's kind of a really fun console to have. The regular one, you can use it both on TV or use it handheld. So what we can do is like Mr. E can play on TV with one of the consoles. We don't have many consoles. We have a few of the handheld Nintendo ones over the years, like a DS, a 3DS, not a Switch, and we have a PlayStation. An old PlayStation. So yeah. Really nothing fancy. We don't even have a big TV. We have a tiny TV. So we're not that into technology and stuff, but yeah, the Switch is a really nice console to get, in my opinion. And the games on it are quite good. I still want to play Fire Emblem on it, because it looks like fun. Hold on. What did you play? What games do you already have? I don't have many of them. I have, what was it? Let's Go Eevee? I had a lot of fun with that, but I got stuck in a place where I had to grind a lot and like level up my Pokemons, and I was like, death rattle. I struggle with that kind of content. Like I can pick up weeds in Animal Crossing all day long if I can, but grinding to level up stuff kind of really bores me up quicker. And I always feel like instead of grinding for that stuff, I should be drawing, you know? I should be doing something else. Did I say... No, well, I didn't mean that. Did I say that Otto had Animal Crossing? Maybe I mean others have Animal Crossing and I tripped on my word. Does your Discord have a Game Switch channel? Not yet, but perhaps I should make one up for that. That's a fair point. Paulo, your daughter can buy your own Switch at that point. Oh, you like RPGs and grinding. Oh. Well, you're a braver man than I am. I kind of did. I think I had like a definite bank of patience for grinding, and I used it all up when I played Final Fantasy VIII a million years ago. Like I leveled up all of my characters to max level and collected the maximum magic, whatever I could get. But then I was sort of done with that in general. But I mean, I think I need autocorrect. Can I get that app installed on my brain? Persona Shin Megami Tensei. I'm all busted up on RPGs. I really struggle with them now. Though I want to play Fire Emblem. It's kind of weird. Like I'm playing which game? I'm playing a bunch of games at the same time. I don't play a lot every week, but sometimes, like when I'm taking a break for lunch, I will like do a bit of a gaming here and there. And yeah, so I've been playing Fire Emblem Awakening on the 3DS, and it's kind of weird in the sense that it's been translated into English, and I kind of feel like there's a lot of things that did not translate well culturally, and it just makes for really weird things at times, and some characters could be perceived as a bit creepy if you consider the options in the game, and like it's nothing like absolutely like ghastly and shocking, but it's just weird, and it always makes me wonder if I could play it in Japanese, would it all make more sense, because the translation is not exactly there in English. Like it's not exactly what they were meant to say, if that makes sense. Has anyone been playing any board games or cards? Yeah, that's the analog take on all that. Ellen says, we're on jigsaw puzzle number 2 at my place. And Otto says, yes, we bought a lot of board/card games before the lockdown, and we've been having a whale of a time. That's awesome. I saw that you can, like, for people who are pretty much into computer games, you can get like simulator, like tabletop simulators, and then you can sort of buy digital puzzles and like games and stuff. I've got Monopoly on my kitchen table waiting to be broken out today. I'll stick with knitting. We practice both digital and analog entertainment. I don't think I have any... I don't have any classic games here. I don't have the space for them. I think I have a Star Wars Monopoly somewhere at my dad's home. But yeah, it's usually like work. Then I try to draw, and then gaming. But I find gaming good for as an inspiration in a way. If a game is fun, I find that it puts me in a good mindset that then translates into other things. Also, now I'm sort of curious about this Fire Emblem Awakening stuff you talked about. Would it be okay if you told me which characters are the worst offenders? You mean the ones that are kind of weird? It's nothing really like shocking. It's a I think it's a PG game. But it's just that there are things sometimes that come across a bit weird, and one of the features of the game is that you basically can decide which characters are hanging out with with which characters on the battle and all that, and they become friends. And if they are compatible and of opposite gender, they can get married. But there are sort of really like borderline kids characters in there, and they can still get married, and there is no like what's the word I'm looking for? There's no kind of safeguard that would prevent like a character that is fully an adult to get married to a character that is a kid or kind of, teenager. So it's a bit odd, and a bit like weird. So that's why I was a bit like, that's kind of creepy at times, because you can kind of do whatever you want with that, mostly. And it could get creepy fast. But you can also decide, I guess, to not have that happen. Like, it's not mandatory for the kid characters to get married or whatnot. And sometimes, like, some of the dialogue can be borderline sexist, just a tiny bit. You know, stuff like, oh, you're a pretty girl, why is a pretty girl fighting like that? And you're like, okay, is this what we're doing? Fine. Yeah, no, it's kind of hard to pinpoint really precise stuff. Like, it's not like something that is really like, whoa, that dude, what happened, like, why? But yeah, it's stuff like that you get. One of the characters is technically looks like a really young, well, not young, like perhaps what, the 10-year-old kid, and technically they're like a fantasy type of creature that can be human and dragon, but the character still looks like a really young kid. And the outfit they gave the character is a bit weird. Like, it's just like, it wouldn't surprise me if some people got really offended with this stuff. Like, I could see why they would get like that. Like, I'm aware of it, and it kind of annoys me, but I'm also able to kind of separate the thing, and I don't know if it's a good thing to do, but that's kind of what happens. This explanation is straight. What do you mean? I'm trying. Yeah, it can very easily tip into creepy. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic with my hand. Hey, sunny day, hi. Stripperific. No, it's not. It's weird to explain. It would be a bit like if you had a kid in it, like the kid version of a two-piece bathing suit, but not on the beach, which is just a bit like, kind of like, should I, is it like, why is this not covered? I don't, it's just the thing with character design. Sometimes you really wonder what justified this choice over other ideas. Like, some outfits could easily be made more kind of decent if, instead of deciding that this area is, let's say, skin, it's a fabric, you know. And you're like, oh, okay, so instead of having the whole midriff exposed, that's fabric. There's a shirt there. So it's a bit less weird. But nope. You guys know the joke in RPGs, like, if you get a full plate for a male character, it's gonna be a big, sturdy, full plate, and like big metal and big shoulders and big everything, and full metal and big and strong. And if you get the exact same armor for a female character, it's gonna be a chainmail bikini. And you're like, hold on, stop, pause. They're gonna kill me. I'm not even protected from anything. I'm barely decent. What is going on? Why is my character like that? No, I mean in a good way. It sounds like almost torture to play sometimes. Well, I'm glad. No, it's not messed up, but it's weird enough that it makes me wonder. Like, I don't take it absolutely at face value. It really makes me wonder if something got lost in translation, or like what am I missing here so that this element would make sense, you know? Perhaps it doesn't make sense, but I always give it a kind of a I will always what's the word I'm looking for? A thingy with doubt, you know. I would rather check it up and make sure that it is what I feel it is before I form a strong opinion of this. That does sound like a strange choice. Still, is it? I think it's quite fun. And most of the relationship building is really, really funny. And I mean, most of the characters are like an okay age to build up relationships to marriage. And you can, I guess, you can sort of decide that if you push the relationship building with the kids, you can sort of put two kids together. So it feels kind of a bit less creepy. And I say kids, I mean, it's teenagers. It's not really kids. So it feels like I can go back to a time when I was a teenager where a lot of fellow teenagers were in couples. And reserve my judgment. That's a good way to put it. So yeah, it doesn't feel, you know, like predatory if I can create this relationship between two teenagers, because then I feel like they're on the same level. But yeah, sometimes it's just a bit like weird. But I mean, most of the characters are adults, and the relationship stuff is just fun. Like, they have interesting dialogue and it's funny, so. Why is my character less protected than me in my PJs? A very valid point, Otto. Done with the bikini armor. I agree. I mean, they definitely don't make that for female players, like gamers. Like, you'd be hard put to find a lady gamer who's excited about having a chainmail bikini. Bikini. I've heard good things of. Yeah, they're good games. I mean, they're interesting, and it's fun to play the kind of battles that are more like strategy than like real time fighting, like hitting stuff directly. But yeah, that's the part that's just a bit weird. Fan service is a real thing in gaming, yeah, and sometimes it's too much of a thing. Like we could do with a bit less fan service at times. Which is, I play a bit of Guild Wars 2 occasionally. I was playing a bit more some time ago, and it will probably come back, but you can decide basically what your character is like. Like, you have many backgrounds, you have many ancestries to choose from. You really have like a bunch of stuff that you can choose from, and I decided that I wanted to play a dude in that game, just to get away of the mindset of being a girl all the time. And I also decided that I will try to have my dude find the silliest armors, just to have this presence on screen of a dude character that's not like wearing the big ass plates and all that. So I always have a blast, like finding something that has like an exposed midriff on the male version of the armor and putting it in that, because I'm like, why not? They do it with the girls all the time. So, although I have to say, male characters in skimpy clothing is not something I want. I would say I'm not against it, but it's a depend on, you know, it's on a case by case point. Like, if it's, I always kind of feel like if it feels like the character chose that outfit themselves, I don't mind. But if it feels like some kind of dude designer somewhere decided that this character would look like that, that's when I... Meh. Now I sort of want to play this game. Putting female characters in skimpy clothes. That's annoying. But yeah, like I said, if it's done... If it looks like the character decided by themselves to wear that, yeah, what can you do? But most of the time for the female characters, it's never the feeling we get. Like I said, the bikini armor, no one wants a bikini armor. Yeah, I was talking about Fire Emblem. Hey Nancy, hi! Walking into this convo, male skimpy clothes, chainmail bikini. Basically just talking about fan service in gaming. I don't know if, well, okay, perhaps not a lot of people have played, but there's one of the Mass Effect games where one of the characters, they wanted to showcase the fact that this character, this female character, had a lot of tattoos. And they kind of gave her a really ridiculous outfit that's basically, like, the top is basically, suspenders and a belt. That's basically the top, is suspenders and a belt. And the bottom, like, they're not real suspenders because I don't think they attach to the bottom, but the bottom is not really made in a way that it would sort of hold on to someone if it was a real person. Like, the pants would fall off. And see, that's the kind of stuff that bums me up. And that really takes me out of the game, because I look at that and I'm like, well, I don't feel like that's practical clothing. Like, I understand if the character wants to showcase their tattoos, fine, but they could wear something a bit more you know, if you are wearing that all day, every day, perhaps something would be more comfortable than a really tight belt over your chest and suspenders, is basically my point. Oh yeah, you can, if you decide to wear bikini armor, then by all means. Hey, bye Mikey. Oh, thank you so much for being here. Stay safe. Alright, I need to go get some water for painting, so I'll go get that. Put all this away. Yeah, realistic would be a way to put it. Like, say if the character is a convict, which is the case with this character, and they escape, so if the character wants to showcase their tattoos, well, why not have them in a singlet? I think that's the word, a singlet. And like their prison outfit is open to the waist and the sleeves are used to tie it up so it holds there. Like, why does it have to be super sexy? I like to play male characters when I play games. I always make them look like so I can stare at his button. Oh, that's awesome! but did Da Vinci Cerulean Blue work for you? I don't think I have Da Vinci Cerulean Blue. Not anymore. The only color I have from them at the moment is the manganese blue hue. Hence why I don't like character design like that. I mean, look what they're doing to Harley Quinn from Batman. Yeah. What? You don't enjoy wearing short shorts that are riding up all the time? I don't see why. It's a bit like when you see like superhero women's wearing high heels. It kind of raises a lot of questions. Oops, forgot to draw the other arm. I've only used Da Vinci paints a few times. I had bought a few when there was a clearance sale at Curry's, but then at some point I kind of got overwhelmed and I sold my few Da Vinci colors off. And I think I sent the pens I have to Otto so she could try them. So basically, all I have from Da Vinci is... Oh, I think I might have two colors. I might have the... one of their... the color that kind of looks like Caput Mortem and... manganese blue hue. I have yet to... I did the first part of a video about the Da Vinci, not sorry, Da Vinci, the manganese blue. Like I was trying to find good substitute for that color, and I did the first video on that, and I have yet to do part 2 with the manganese blue hue. So, oh, hold on, you said Daniel Smith manganese blue. I don't really mind it. It's a nice, like, cool blue color, but it's not quite like what real manganese is like. I will never be a fan of any article of clothing that dries up my butt crack. Yeah. Fair enough. Suggesting superhero women don't need ankles. Yeah. Who needs ankles? Alex, who needs ankles? Who needs ankles? Like, I will love a superhero female character with high heels if she ends up, like, getting rid of them. Like, tripping in them and being like, what the heck? And then getting rid of them. It's just not a good... I mean, maybe they can run, but they can also, like, ruin their joints by doing that. Like, legs are not meant to be run on like that. People who walk with their feet. That was the color, manganese. Yeah, I have yet to try the manganese blue hue. I'm not super, like, hyped about trying it because I know it's just a phthalo blue spin on it. So it's kind of not exciting. White Knight paints are really nice. They have a great cobalt teal. I love it. It's really good. Oh, I should use these paints to color this, I guess. If I can remember where I put my blue tin White Knights. There it is. be using white knights, I guess. Why not? Why not? I think that's better. Let's clear up some space. Oh, I'm glad, Paulo. You're always welcome, you know that. Oh, oh. Oh. Is it back? Is it back? Please be back. Please be there. Ah, sorry about that. That was weird. Yeah, there's a bit of sun in the room today. How unusual is that? Sun in my cave! What am I supposed to do with all that sun? Percussive maintenance when all else fails. I did the first step before percussive maintenance is just like restarting everything. I don't you guys have probably remember, but it's not like there's often kind of like issues during live streams. It's kind of rare, so I don't actually really know what to do when it craps out like this. So I don't know how to like restart the stream without ending it, if that makes sense. I think I figured out like a way to do it, I guess, but yeah, I was worried it would end the whole thing and then I would have to either start a new one or I don't know, Google it, I guess. The baseball bat we have at home is named Tech Support. That's amazing. Thank you guys. I'm glad to have you back too. Yeah, the sun is a ball of death for sure, but the plants need it. And I guess we kind of do too if we want to have some vitamin D always cracks me up when I was talking to my doctor and he was like, well, it's not necessarily the best to supplement vitamin D in the summer because you can't get it from the sun. Because in the summer there is sun out there. And I was like, yeah, but at the same time people are always like, you have to go outside and wear sunscreen if you go outside. And I'm like, so what's the middle ground between getting some sun exposure but not burning up? And he was like, well, you can either go outside under the sun for like 10 minutes without sunscreen and have your skin metabolize vitamin D, or you can go outside for an hour with sunscreen because the sunscreen is going to prevent your skin from processing I don't know what into vitamin D. And I was like, huh. And it's always the maths of would I get a sunburn in 10 minutes outside? Like, how can I manage that and like be outside and exposed so I can metabolize vitamin D but not burn up? That was always kind of the what I was trying to figure out. Lena says my doctor said that too, but then she realized that my body doesn't make enough from being outside in summer. Yeah, I mean, if you need supplementation, by all means, take it. But yeah, like that was just very fitting with my doctor's personality to be like that. He's a funny guy. And yeah, he definitely said that in the winter you're better off with supplementing in the northern hemisphere. Probably not going to be able to get much. Well, you don't have to go very far. If you have a yard, you can just go outside in the yard. And as long as you're 2 meters away from sidewalks or neighbors and all that, you should be safe enough. Like, it doesn't have to be fancy. What I would do is I would just like take my phone and go noodle on the lawn for 10 minutes, trying to move around so I don't burn on one side, and then jump back in as quick as possible. Like, ugh, I'm all sweaty now and it feels gross. Trying to figure out which color I want to paint those cats. I think one of them is going to be gray. I can reuse this sort of gray I have on my palette. Sort of gray, yeah. I think if I had to come up with a gray, it would be sort of gray. Because it would be made from a mix of colors that does not include black. So, like, I think the most accurate gray you can have is either by adding white or by diluting black. Like, that's gray. Light black is gray. But with paint, you know, yet you can get gray from mixing colors. So that's why it would be sort of gray. Purple. I'm not gonna make it a purple cat. You and your purple cat. Your bugos are mostly gray, but both have a reddish winter coat. Oh, that's interesting. Are they like domestic cats, or are they branded cats? Like, are they a specific? What's the word I'm looking for? I'm losing all my words. Breed. Yeah, are they a specific breed, or are they just mutts? The good old domestic insert hair length cat. Golden have reference gray paints. What is that? I kind of really like the idea of having a sort of gray. It cracks me up. I think if I had a palette of colors based on like 2 paint cat coats and recommendation of what to mix together, like the color for gray cats would be sort of gray because it's often a bit bluish for cats. Fun with Siri. Realizing that I forgot to add a color to its shirt. Neutral gray paint. Oh, interesting. I know that Daniel Smith came up with a bunch of grays too, like Joseph Bukvich, or however you say that, and James Gray and Alvaro Castanet's gray colors too. They're not very neutral necessarily, but the thing is that yeah, they're kind of easy grays, if I can say that. They're gray and they include black. And not that it's a good or a bad thing, it's just a thing, but it's just not, like, it really depends on what I want, but most of the time I'm looking for a gray that has perhaps a bit more of a risk to it of having happy accidents. Like say you mix granulating colors together, so it kind of separates and it creates this texture that was not intentional, but that is interesting. A palette of kitty coat colors. I would have to make it from assembling a bunch of professional colors together so that it can easily be referenced. I'd love to have a palette that's just earth tones. Well, it's kind of not difficult to put together. Daniel Smith has the one that is not edible a palette, and I think it's a mix of like lunar black, you have bronzite genuine in there, buff titanium, a yellow ochre color, and a red ochre color, and overall it's a really nice palette. It's kind of limited to just 6 colors, but the thing is it's in their stupid white, the plastic box that's super badly made, but the color selection is interesting, and it's a shame that their boxes are so bad because they sell them with 6 colors in there, but you have room for like 9 more colors. I think they can hold 15 colors, so it's kind of a nice way to start, and you can build up a palette as you go, but the box itself is terrible to use. Like, I think the bottom tray is fine, it's just a tray with pans, but the lid that you're supposed to use for mixes and all that is not well made, in the sense that if you close the box it spills, and I don't think it lays flat if you open it up. I think that Marty Owens made an interesting video about these sets, or at least one of them. But yeah, I might put together a video about a specific, like my recurring or recommendation of colors to use for mixing cat coats. Like gray, tabby, not tabby, but orange. Perhaps a kind of a color point color, you know, the dark brown gray for color points, like Siamese cats. You don't need that much colors to cover basically all the colors of cat coats. But I might have to do a bit of research, like I'm saying that, but by looking at my cat reference books, I might realize that there are many more colors that I didn't think of. Oh, definitely. Steven says, recommends to Phoebe to watch Otto's videos on the Roman Schmal palette, the Roman Schmal paints. There is a heck of an array of earth colors in that line. Indeed, they're all beautiful too. Ellen says, I was interested by the Prima Marketing Woodlands palette. I picked it up and it's great for outdoor sketching. Muted palette, lots of multi-pigment colors, but they have many of the same pigments. Just a reminder that multi-pigment colors are perfectly fine. Lise! Hey, you managed to find it. How did you manage to find the stream? Lise was having a hard time, like, with YouTube not wanting to... Oops, I bumped into everything. Not wanting to show the live streams. And we were trying to figure it out, and really, it made no sense. I really love the new palettes that Prima Marketing released. I got a bunch of them. And the Woodlands, I think, is the first one that I got. Hold on. Boop. Terrain, currents. Is it gonna be the last one of my swatches? It is. So that's the Woodlands palette. It's a really interesting palette when you look at it. It doesn't really have a yellow in there. And the red is kind of this one. Bien soir. Bonsoir. Oops, I bumped into everything, started my life. Oh my gosh, yes. Same here, but at the same time, I mean, I tend to bump into things even when there aren't many things around, and it's worse if, like the studio, there are many things around. So yeah, lots of bumping. Love this color. I really like the Prima Marketing sets because they offer a great challenge, and the paints are really quite nice. And like I said, multi-pigments, they don't mean anything, basically. Because it's not magic. I mean, the color you see resulting from the mix is all that matter. If a color ends up being a cool yellow, like a greenish yellow, whether it's through a single pigment or 10 pigments, it's still gonna behave like a greenish yellow. The only thing that might be a bit of a factor if one of the colors in there is opaque, but you also have single pigments that are opaque, so, and the opacity is just gonna make the color less transparent, but it's not gonna create a surprise mix, you know. I'm glad you like it. At least I will send it to you. You know, we had talked about the like originals and whatnot, and I will include it with that. I'm like, take all the drawings. I don't have any room for them anymore. I'm being swamped in art. Too much art. I paint too much. Hey, Lise, how did it go? Did you manage to do a few more walks around? Was the weather nice enough for that? We have come to the realization here that we tend to prefer the days when the weather is not good, like rainy and gray, because it means there are less people out there and you have a lot less gymnastics to do to stay within 2 meters of strangers. So we're making jokes like, it's sunny, there's gonna be too many people out. But at the same time, I mean, it was sunny a day last week and we went on our walk and the park was just chock full of people, like playing soccer and all that. And I was like, guys, stay home. But yeah, people are restless. Some of them, I guess. Some aren't. Someone else. This is my collection. Ev. This is my art swamp. Yeah, but seriously. I'm stacking up the drawings and I'm like, what am I gonna do with all those? I always try to scan them, but once they're scanned in, I mean, I'm gonna paint some more, so it's always more painting. I also think some of the feelings about mixed pigment may stem from our infamous friend Cotman's and its fillers. Yeah, I don't know, there's definitely a perception issue in there. I don't know, fillers could be, like, the gooey texture of the fillers might be something that confused people. I think a lot of it is that mixing cool and warm colors is kind of a difficult concept to fully understand and apply. I did a walk in yesterday and today, but I lost today. Oh, that's okay. Hold on. Paulo says, over here in the first 2 days it was like that. People flocked to the beaches because it was like 23 Celsius. Social distancing people. Yeah, can you be on the beach and be like 2 meters apart? Oh no, here it's kind of crazy. Like, it wasn't even that warm, you know, it's still spring, so whenever it's warm it feels perhaps like what, 8 Celsius, maybe 10 if it's the sun is shining super bright. And people were like, I saw a dude in shorts and flip-flops. And I wanted to kick him. And people were all over the nearby soccer field and practicing and whatnot. I was like, ugh. There's always more painting. Yeah. That's really my takeaway from painting in general, is that for my own paintings, I mean, like, I don't have exactly the same mindset when I decide to purchase other people's art, but as far as my own stuff, I'm always like, well, I need to practice, I want to get better, so I need to paint more, and paintings take up space, so it kind of needs to either move or something has got to happen here. And I really like this idea of keeping things in motion. Like, I don't want to be stuck again. I was stuck for a really long time and it was not great, and now I don't want to be stuck again, so let's keep things rolling. Oh, have a good lunch, Phoebe. I hope it will be delicious. There has been problems in Denmark. They had to make the police start handing out tickets. Yeah, people just don't... I don't know. I really wonder what's the thought process in certain brains, honestly. We need more mayors like the Italian mayors who were basically like no BS. And what the drawing today is someone getting fresh eggs from a farmer. Because why not? What about putting your original up on your online store? yeah, that's something that I need to put together. I'm a bit stuck in terms of which selling platform I want to use for that, because it's difficult. I really enjoyed the way Etsy allowed for multiple shipping fees depending on the nature of the items that you send out. So I could have a special shipping options for like prints and originals, like flat things. But then I also have original paints, and original paints are not flat things, and I usually don't want to send out flat things like prints and originals with paints, because if I put a 3D object with a flat 2D object, I worry that the pans are gonna bend the print, or like it's gonna not be great. So it's kind of two separate things, and I'm trying to find a platform that will allow me to manage that, but also that is not costing me an arm and a leg, because I definitely don't sell enough stuff to justify paying a monthly fee for that. Well, a big monthly fee. And most of the platforms nowadays are kind of expensive. So I was kind of looking at that and trying to figure out what I was gonna do with that, but I haven't settled on the thing yet, so it's bothersome. Paulo says, well, not to be mean, but we also had some problems with some Danish tourists in the beginning that came to Portugal, and they shouldn't, because they were in contact with their son who was diagnosed. We kind of deported them. Oh. Oh no. Well, oh no, but that's what you have to do. Like, I completely understand this is not a time to be reacting lightly. I think you're better off taking more intense measures to be safe, as long as it's, nice and all. Hey, welcome back, Otto. Yeah, have an excuse. They should be deported, and I wouldn't even fault your country if they got an actual kick in the butt too. Oh my gosh. I see that. I absolutely see that. This brush is weird. It's a long, round Princeton Elite, but I'm not sure I like it. It's long. It's definitely long, but the point is, I don't know, it's weird. It's like all the different lengths of hairs in the point to become really visible if you want to work details. So it kind of gets frazzled, like it's kind of affecting the way the point works. It's like as if it was many little hairs instead of a big point that holds together. Oh, the gerbils are out. Hello, gerbils. I hope they are having a great day. A great gerbil day. Sounds like fun. Wow, this came out much lighter than I was expecting. I was like, oh, this mix on my palette is gonna be dark and all, but it's absolutely not dark enough. The girl bills. Oh, that's cute. I have a set of elites. While my number round and my number 8 round is my workhorse, I've never been happy with it. Do you come across the same issues that I'm mentioning right now, Amisha? Like, it's weird. Like, it looks like it keeps its points really well, but it kind of frays. That's the word I was looking for. It frays up a lot. I don't know why. It's weird. And this is not an old brush. This is really new. Like, I don't think I've used this brush in more than a couple of times already, and it's just not. It's really hard to show, but it's a bit like. Hold on. Just let this dry a bit. Gentle. Paper. Here. Okay. So you have the tip of the long brush that's a bit like that, like a nice reservoir and a long tip, but here you have all the airs a bit like that, and it's really hard to keep a point with all these hairs poking out like that. And even when I try to shape up the point so it would be like this, there's always like a kind of a bunch of hairs coming out. Doesn't work all that well. Apparently rats can't burp, but they can fart. Oh no. Hey Joy, hi. It's like the point is too big for the body or something. Yeah, it's I think in an effort to lengthen the tip, so because it's a long, so instead of having a more, like, if you look at the way the point works on this one, like it's almost the same size until you get to the very end and then point. But this one, like, they want to kind of stretch it up, like make it longer, and I think these hairs don't really stick together well. Welp. It is what it is. I can't see my hand in front of my face. What happened? Are you caught in a haze of farts? What's happening? We keep saying that the moment our cats get old enough that they fart more frequently, we're gonna die. Pico is gonna kill us. The toxicity in there is gonna be through the roof. Yeah, a surprising number of animals can't burp or barf. Well, we all know cats can barf. Oh, that reminds me. The other day, Mr. E woke me up, and he was like, "Oh no, I think Pico was just sick." And I was like, "Well, what?" Because I'd just woken up, and he was like, "Yeah, I heard her like heave, and then I heard a splat," and I was like, So I got up, and I tried. I think he couldn't get up because I had Scout on him. So I got up. I went to check it out. But eventually, Scout decided that she wanted to check it out too, so she got off, and Mr. E got off too. And we were looking around the place for the offending puddle, and we couldn't find it. We couldn't find it anywhere, and we looked at all the weird places, or the places where the cats hang out, or the kind of places where we once found like an unpleasant puddle, and we couldn't find anything. And Mr. E was really confused. He was like, "Well, I'm sure I heard her." And I was like, "I believe you, but we can't find it." So I fully expect one day the both of us to be doing something absolutely different and to stumble upon a dried up hairball or something hidden like behind the washing machine or whatnot. Like, dude, cats! It's the same with my regular number 8 and 4, so I think it's how they are tapering this synthetic to make it hold more water like Kolinsky. Yeah, I guess so. I'm glad you can share your experience with those, because it kind of implies that this is not a faulty brush, this is just the way they do it. I will not be buying any more Princeton Elite, I think. I would much rather buy more Treacle brushes. They are quite nice. Yeah, Otto is talking about like super serious stuff in the chat, and I'm here with my cat barf stories. What a weird time to be alive. I fully remember my mom back in the years of the H1N1 epidemic. I don't remember if it got to the point of being a pandemic, but she was already like, "You gotta hoard up on cans and water and all that," and kind of never needed them. And now it's kind of weird to find ourselves in a situation where we kind of need this stuff. Hey, bye Francis, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great weekend. I was considering making the farmer's hat red, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I kind of caught up a bit late. That might be not a good idea by association. So I need a new hat color. Well, it's a farmer. It could be a green hat, like for all the green stuff that grows. I have to give you barf update on Twitter. Instead of Easter egg hunt, it's a barf hunt. I'm pretty sure the cats would consider it a gift. To you. Yeah, the bird flu. Yeah, sorry, it was the bird flu. back in 2003 or something. Around that time. Oh, orange could work. Yeah, I'm I really get it, Joy. I'm sorry you feel this way, but at the same time I totally understand. It's just weird, like how this whole situation, like it's weird to realize that something that happens on such a big scale, but not necessarily like on an immediate scale in one's life, can still affect you. If that makes sense. Like to feel sad for things that are going on generally in the world right now, that's weird. I think I'm gonna make it a green cap, because green is kind of the opposite of red, and I feel like that's nice. That's something I could get behind, like an absolutely not red hat. Yeah, it happened really, really quick. Now I want the cathartic cry. Aw, I'm so sorry. I totally understand, but yeah, it's... I think as much as like I can understand feeling sad, I also feel sad that you feel sad. Like everybody is making each other more sad. And it happened really quick indeed, Dan. That's the... It's a good thing... Well, not a good thing that it happened quick. It's a good thing if people reacted quickly and took there's a word I'm looking for. Took measures, haha, quickly. But yeah, also it's kind of terrifying when you see that no measures were taken, and that now things are reaching the point where the lack of measures has consequences. I'm really excited to try those workouts, Otto. I'll have to wait until things go back to normal and I don't feel as like self-conscious about it, but it looked really doable and really like not overwhelming. The fact that the first video I saw of the guy, he has a broken arm in it too, was kind of not a relief, but it instantly made it feel more accessible. I was like, oh, if the dude can do his workouts with his broken forearm, the totally out of shape person that I am should be able to follow up, not too bad, if that makes sense. I struggle a lot with some of those things sometimes, like yoga, when the person is super flexible and nimble, and here I am like a absolutely not flexible, zero nimbleness to me. So they're like, do downward dog, and I'm like, I'm dying already. So yeah. Exponential growth is really hard for a lot of people to understand. It's also very striking, like you and like you, it's a surprise every day in a way. Sorry. Like you never expect the numbers to climb that much from one day to the next, but that's just the way it is. Yeah, from what I saw of the PE with Joe workouts, it's things that you don't need weights, you don't need, all you need is a bit of space somewhere to move around, but it's not extreme stuff, and it's not movements that are too difficult. Like it's nice beginner stuff, and it's kind of short enough that you know you won't feel bored. Sometimes the workout videos that are like half an hour, I mean you're 5 minutes in and you want to die already, so yeah. I'm so bothered that he broke his arm and has not said what he did. I worry that it's gotta be like a shameful thing if he doesn't want to say what he did. Like he tripped in his toes and broke his feet like that. Look up yoga for overweight and disabled. Oh, that's a good idea. Did I? Oh, I did it. Yeah. The GHT or GTH or like that order of letters is super confusing always. I can only last about 30 minutes. How long are his videos? I don't know why I have in mind that they're about 15 minutes, but I might be wrong. Lee says, in good news though, the past 4 days, the amount of hospitalized COVID patients has slowly gone down here. That's awesome. And I also love that it has autocorrected COVID to Corvid. Because again, COVID-19 cracks me up. He broke it wrestling for the last pack of Lou Rolls and Tesco. He broke it punching in the face someone who was being mean. I used to find running the most boringest activity ever. I still find it the most boringest activity ever. I did a bit of running a long time ago, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. The only part that I would hate a bit less was when I knew I was doing my last lap. Like when I was starting the last lap, I was like, oh my gosh, this is almost over. That's the only part that was a bit better. I love that when you think of embarrassing reasons, your mind goes to tripping over your foot. Mine went into a very different place. Oh my gosh. Do you need soap to clean your thoughts? Someone's mind is in the gutter. Well, I think it would be embarrassing as a fitness educator and trainer to break your arm tripping on your foot, wouldn't it? Running is a lot less boring if you don't do it. Exactly. Oh, like I feel confident in saying that I don't like it because I tried. I did it. for some time, and a lot of people will tell you like, oh, but it gets fun after a while, and it never really got to that point for me. This is just where I live, the gutter. Aw. Hiking though, I would love to be able to hike. That's where it's at. And I mean, running in the forest would probably be great too. But I mean, in cities, it's like the most boring stuff ever. Especially like where I live, it's super like suburban and boring, and there's a lot of people already everywhere running, and you're like, I feel like it would be stressful mentally as well as physically. And I feel like hiking or being able to run in a more natural and less popular space would probably help. If that makes sense. I don't think I get a runner's high. I would run for like 45 minutes and not hit a high. I don't know if it's supposed to happen later, but if it's supposed to happen later on, I mean, dude, that's a great leap of faith to decide to run for longer than 45 minutes in the hopes of getting a high. Hey Mallory, hi! I didn't see you come in. I'm fiddling with my brush. It had a annoying sticker on it. Sorry. Okay. I need to focus. Focus. Nope. If you get a runner's high, eat a few dates and drink a cup of water. How is that supposed to help? Hold on. Cow and cat pose. Every single time it makes me really nauseous and I have to stop. Could it be something in the ears from the moving the head from one position to the other one? Dan says, I used to enjoy going to the gym, but I got to the point where I couldn't face it anymore and had no energy for it. Yeah, I can relate to that. That's kind of what happened to me too. It got cold, and I lost like the momentum of doing it, so I stopped. I mean, it never was any fun. Like, I never did go to the gym because it was fun, but it had gotten to be just the thing I did until I didn't want to do it at all anymore. Do you get nausea from doing similar head movements but not in those poses, Otto? Hey, Barbara, hi! Maybe adjust the cat pose, cat donut pose, or cat loaf pose. I absolutely support this idea. Welcome back, Phoebe. To my fellow cat people in there, have you guys tried the thing where you see your cat doing like a, mostly the loaf pose, but you see your cat doing a loaf pose like on the floor, and you just you just settle down next to them and try to imitate the pose, and they're like a bit confused, like, what are you doing? It's just really funny. The question, what was the question? I think it was to ask if other similar head movement were causing nausea as well. Anxious tiredness guess it's me just not being 21 anymore. Well, what? You're 25, 26, Dan? You're still young. Cat spread paws. Pose. Yeah. Can I do cat and a donuts pose? Yeah, I second that one too. Do you have access to donuts you can eat without too much grief, Otto? Oh no, that's not good. Okay, go to hell, brush. I need a point for this, and you're definitely not delivering on this. So I'll use this awesome brush that Otto sent me. Oh no, it's not this one, it's this one. That's the one I want to use. It's a Proline Plus. Yoga session that swiftly moves into a donut session. Yep. No, other poses are all fine. Well, other poses that have you going from head down to head up. It could be a thing like this movement from the ear, and also the fact that your head is possibly level with your stomach. Do you think it could be related to the acidity stuff too? Nearly 28. Yeah, that's true. I remember losing the young person energy pretty quick once I hit 25. And it's also like the moment where things started to fail. I guess the warranty was expired. Oh yeah, proper breathing could be a thing. Not at the moment. I tried a new bakery today. I nearly died. Oh no! The glazing was twice as thick. Oh dude, that would be my favorite bakery. They have their priorities straight. No, I don't think it's related to the reflux because I've experienced it years before. Oh! Dude. Well, I guess you're probably better off skipping those poses then. Youthful energy warranty expires apparently. It does. Dude. Yeah, all this stuff like started having migraines and tension headaches and like when you start making when you bend over, that's a sign that you've reached the threshold. No, I want pain au chocolat, thanks, folk. Is it pain au chocolat or chocolatine? The unending argument whether something is a pain au chocolat or a chocolatine. It was way too much sugar for me, and I'm still feeling way oversugared. I prefer a thin glaze, like the ones you get on Yum Yums. Yeah, I mean, most pastries are usually fun with a thin glaze, but I mean, by the way, I just watched an Alan Owen video the other day. He's wonderful, and I thought, oh my god, he does a killer old people Eve impression because he has that shaky voice. What do you mean? Wait, I thought that was donuts mixed with croissants were cronuts. I practice burpees and get-ups to maintain some mobility getting up and down. That's a good idea. Dude, burpees are really hard to do. Sorry, but you'll absolutely have to have me try the Yum Yums at some point. I'm not very picky. I'll eat anything that's sugary and somewhat fatty, as long as it doesn't have any of that weird cheesecake icing thing in it. I always thought that carrot cake was ruined by that freaky cheese icing. I don't like cheesecake. Not like I can eat it anyway at this point, but I didn't like it before. As I near 40, I am trying to make more efforts to keep... Yeah, I do the same, seriously, for the same reason. Yeah, but this place wanted to be different. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Amisha says very flaky, 2 sticks of chocolate side by side. So that's a chocolatine, like a chocolate croissant. It's kind of like this shape, and it's rolled croissant dough with chocolate in it. Ooh, buttercream. Buttercream is fine. But cream cheese, oh, good grief, it's like sour. Ugh, if I want sour, I'll get lemon. You can give the cream cheese's icing to my imaginary self, the one that who can eat dairy. Yeah, I got one of those imaginary selves too. So Paulo says, "Oh, food. After the lockdown, I won't be able to leave the house because I won't fit the door." Oh yes, that's gonna be a massive issue, baboom bish. Lemon cake. I'm not too big on the lemon stuff, but if I want sour, that's where I'll get it. It's damn delicious, especially slightly warmed and spread with butter. If it's the chocolatine, it's already like made with butter croissant dough, so it's gotta be fully decadent with added butter on it. The local bakery had some amazing chocolatine, but they closed. And not because of COVID, they closed before, and we were pretty bummed out. They were also our provider of Geledoa. I still have this. I haven't forgotten about doing the typically Canadian foods, snack foods live stream. Perhaps I should make it kind of a fun reward for a specific milestone of the channel. Like, say I eventually get to 15,000? Oh wow, 15,000 subs. I could maybe do this special live stream, and if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff, of course. Like stuff like, we had mentioned like whippets, snack cakes, coffee crisps. Oh, bye Gwen. Thank you so much for being here. Have a great weekend. High rate of divorces and sweet consumption during these trying times. That's how we roll. Ah! Oh my gosh. We are on fire. Oh, that's hilarious. Hey! Hello! Little baby. Oh, it's time to soak some sun. It was Scout. Made a sausage sandwich with a leftover baguette, leftover sausages, and homemade chimichurri. Chimichurri sauce. It was so good. Oh, it has to be. In Denmark, we call Danish Vienna bread. If you can hear some weird background noise, that's Scout washing herself on the windowsill. And it's the noise that the blinds make. Yeah, Tuna Face is here. She's gonna be all toasty when she's done. Super warm, toasty cat. Oh, to visit a good boulangerie. Oh. Oh, to have a good boulangerie open still. Yeah, the noise is mostly the blinds hitting the windowsill. She doesn't go like clunk, 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 washing herself. Do you guys think there will be a food shortage later on in the year because there are not enough people to plant and harvest? Yeah, I don't know. I hope not. We will definitely have to wait and see. Perhaps some focus will be put upon crops that require less time to mature, so there might be shortage of certain things but an abundance of others. I guess we'll see. Indeed. Hey, Amisha, do you still have your torty roommate? Is she still around? There are huge storages of grain and a lot of other goods globally. Yeah, I wonder if we'll probably miss on some more seasonal fruits and veggies that are perhaps a bit more time sensitive in terms of when you have to plant them and harvest them. But for this staples food, I think there's gonna be like it might be a bit less fancy, but I think we're gonna be mostly fine. I think so. I heard something underneath the house last night. Oh, I hope it's her. She's gonna help with your garden. She's gonna keep the rodents out of it. Hopefully. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Ellen says, I figure if my grandmother's family can get through the Great Depression on the farm with only her mother, 4 sisters, and some help from their uncle up the road, we can get through this. Yeah, I think that's the point. It might be a bit more limited, or even if it's a lot more limited than it used to be, I think we're still gonna be fine. Like, if people are assuming that things will resume exactly as they were, that's maybe where there's gonna be a bit of an issue. I'm back. My mom is making Alfredo tonight for dinner and asked me what kind of chicken I wanted. So I said lemon garlic. Ooh, that's fancy. Fancy food. Well, I'm thinking of starting a small vegetable garden. Why not? Why not? I'm willing to share, but last year they ate my tomato plants down to dirt. Oh no! Well, I hope she's gonna improve the situation. No, I know, the tortie wouldn't eat tomatoes. That's not standard cat fare. So I hope that she's gonna earn or keep by preventing more damage done to your garden. That's the thing. Even if she doesn't eat them, she might scare them into a safer spot, you know. Dry food and veg. But the thing is if you don't have veggies to dry, you won't have dry veggies. But I'm thinking like perhaps some of the crops that are more resilient or that are maybe we'll have like some stock of root vegetables possibly. Like I don't know. I'm not at all savvy with farm stuff, but like there might not be some really fancy stuff depending on like there might not be as many avocados as before, for example. Some are very afraid there won't be enough medicine. That would be a more worrying thing. I'm not afraid of rationing. I'm afraid of people panicking and earthing each other. I agree. People need to chill, honestly. Like, calm down. I think a lot of people have a bit of a difficulty putting the situation in perspective. And every change in this situation is perhaps perceived as bigger than it actually is. Like, it's no big deal if, there's no eggs this week at the grocery store. You can eat something else. Just an example, just a stupid example, but yeah, that's the thing. People kind of maybe have a harder time understanding that you gotta take the situation in and adjust. I'm going to go with greens, tomatoes, and peppers, maybe both some summer and winter squashes. Ooh, I love squashes. Greens, I think greens are one of the easiest things because they grow quickly. Tomatoes always seem to be really problematic. And peppers are, from what I understand, are perhaps not difficult to grow, but they get eaten by rodents and visitors a lot. I feel bad for those who don't know how to cook, though. It must be stressful. At the same time, it is a good time to learn how to cook. With the internet and YouTube and, it really depends on if someone is capable of staying calm and accepting the situation. And being like, well, I don't know how to cook, so I'm gonna take something basic, buy the ingredients according to this recipe, and I'm gonna try and make it. Oh no! That was just an example. I hope you still have eggs. Over here, oranges trees are being replaced by avocado trees because they have a better return. Aww. But oranges are delicious. Okay, Christian, what do we do if we run out of tea? I'm fine. I got a couple of years worth of tea stash. I'm good. I haven't seen any shortages of tea at the grocery store either, so I think we're good. We're safe. Eat tea, coffee, and chocolate. Chocolate would be difficult to adjust to. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? There was a kind of a scare a couple of years ago that cacao was gonna run out or whatever. And I kind of always have it in the back of my mind that chocolate might go away. So I don't know if I should be prepared for it, or being ready to grieve over chocolate, or the other way around, being absolutely stashing it up, because what are we gonna do without chocolate except become savages? I have a ton of eggs for him and a lot of frozen meat. Is he exclusively a protein eater, meat and eggs? Do you think places like Blue Apron and HelloFresh are getting slammed? Oh, I absolutely think they are. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Otto says, why would you even start talking about this? Ev, why? I'm sorry. Mallory says, it's sort of interesting to see which things are totally sold out. The entire pasta section was gone when I went, and all the flour. So the bread section was packed. Yeah, the flour is another thing that baffles me, and all the flour and the yeast. And I'm always like, well, you can always buy bread and freeze it. Like it keeps well in the freezer. Hold on. The worst things for me is that my mom's a nurse. How is your mom doing, Malvina? Can we take a second to talk about how cute and wholesome hens are, though? They really are. They're super cute. I think I've always been a bit scared of hens and chickens just because they're loud. But they are really, really cute and floofy. Mallory says, did you see that old English lady that was cussing out all the greedy people hoarding toilet paper? She said we'll just have to start using newspaper like during the war. Otis says, Ev and I have been laughing at how at my local supermarket all the cans are sold out except for canned peas. No one liked canned peas apparently. I was checking at my grocery store and there were a lot of canned peas left too, and it made me laugh. Novina says, hard to say. She's a bit nervous. Yeah, of course she's and sad, but she tries to do her best. I mean, your mom is absolutely rocking it right now. She's doing one of the toughest job at the moment. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not speaking out of turn when I say that everyone is thankful for the work she does. And I really hope that she manages to stay safe. I bought her a lot of equipment so she can protect herself, but you know, yeah, it is not always possible to use it, that's true. I like canned peas. Give me some canned peas any day. Well, you would be able to stock up at Otto's supermarket. I don't do canned peas anymore. I ate my fair share and I'm like, nope. You can keep the mushy stuff to yourself. I'll take frozen peas. Please let her know we appreciate them. Yeah, absolutely. Lana says, at the beginning of the hoarding obsession, one supermarket owner said in an interview that they had canned green kale, which they've had for 2 years and no one wanted. Now he got rid of it. Fresh peas are really fun to eat, like fresh, uncooked. They taste really good. Here in Poland, no one cares about nurses. I told her to quit, but she don't want to. Aw. Well, I mean, if being a nurse is something that she chose to be and that has meaning for her, it would be difficult to convince her to quit. There's also the factor that if that's what she trained in, like, what are the options outside of being a nurse available to her? But yeah, she's amazing. She's absolutely amazing, especially if people are not being grateful for all the work she does. I'm getting emotional. Good grief. I've seen that too. Ellen says nursing seems to be like a religious calling for some people, and it takes a special type of person to do it. I agree. I've seen that kind of a calling, not necessarily just for nursing, but some jobs are really difficult to do, and sometimes you stumble upon people who are absolutely passionate about it, and it's awe-inspiring. Because you're like, wow, not only did you chose that difficult thing, you went through all the training for it, did good, and then found a job, and then you keep that job, and you still are passionate about what you do, even if it's super difficult and not necessarily rewarding, not like, even if it's a bit of an ungrateful job, is what I mean. Everyone has a place in this world. Yeah, but it's just sometimes it's a bit more hazy what your place is, and some people will not necessarily find it right away, while other people, like, they have a calling and you cannot stop them. Like, they are unstoppable. I think what I find the most infuriating in those situations is when these people have all this passion and all this drive to do meaningful jobs, but they are stuck with a system and coworkers that don't feel like that, and it kind of hinders everyone. If that makes sense. Like, certain things are really not good for that. Like, they will choose people with more more experience rather than someone who is possibly really driven to do good. That always bothers me so much, because it's like you're dragging this person down, and they could do so much if you would only consider that. If you're one of those no jobs in particular people, remember, not all those who wander are lost. Yeah, no, I mean, that's the other thing. It doesn't invalidate all the other ways to react to work, but it's, yeah, sometimes some people are like, they know what they want exactly right away, and other people, I'm one of those, are like, I don't even know what I want to eat for breakfast, so you're asking me what I want to do. I have no idea. Oh, mais c'est bien un chat tout toasté. C'est bien un bouchon. C'est donc bien un bouchon. Hello. Ah, t'es toute chaude. T'es bouillante. Salut bébé. Salut petit. Tiens. Oh, t'es tellement chaude, bébé. Elle est tellement chaude, là. Fait quasiment mal. Boulette. Sorry, I had to pet Scout, and she's been in the sun for a little while now, and the side of her that's in the sun is so hot. It's almost painful, you know, it's really boiling. Otto says, don't think I'll ever find the thing. So tired of searching for it. Yeah, that's... It's just weird because is it about finding it, or is it about accepting that there's no it and following whatever is interesting at the moment? Oh yeah, she's beyond toasty. She looks super comfy. I'm mostly done with this, so I guess I will end the live stream soon. Put this to dry. Over here. I wish I could show Kitty, but I think one is toasty and the other is sleeping. Okay, let me grab a kitty.
Hey, Pico. Hello. Viens voir. Oh, oh, Paulette. Non, 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 non. Va-t'en pas. Va-t'en pas. Tu t'as donné ton pestacle. C'est Pico. C'est Pico, Pico. C'est Pico, Pico. C'est Pico, Pico. Pico, c'est le petit chat.
On va mettre de quoi? Je veux pas que tu bois dedans.
Salut. Salut, Pico. C'est de bonne humeur, Pico. C'est de bonne humeur, Pico. Une deuxième caméra, bien voir le raton, comme ça.
There we go.
Qu'est-ce que tu as trouvé, Pico?
Post art cat showtime. Yep. Squish that feline.
Squish, squish, squish. Il est so fluffy. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Qu'est-ce que tu as trouvé dans mon crayon?
She's doing everything with her face, that one. It's hilarious.
Qu'est-ce que t'en penses? Oh, frotter la tête, ok. Ouais. Ah ouais, c'est bien ça. Une minute. Ouf. Ouf. Yes. Yes, c'est câlin. Pro, pro, pro. Éprouver dans le micro un peu. Pico. Pas tomber encore.
Thank you so much for being here, Helen. Have a great weekend. Qu'est-ce qui se passe, Péco? C'est juste Monsieur Mitu. C'est juste ton papa. How cute. Here you can see the floof. We call this Pico's little cloud because her white floof is so nice and soft and floofy. So it's her little cloud. Bye Mallory, bye Nicole. Well, we're gonna close this down anyway, so thank you so much everyone for being here. If you are a bit of purring ASMR. Okay, so yeah, if you are interested in continuing conversations during the week and you're not familiar with our Discord server yet, it's a really nice platform for chatting. You can follow the link that's in the description and it's going to take you through the account making process really easily, and then you can join us over there and talk about a bunch of stuff. I want to say a great big thank you to Otto for being always on point with the links and being my awesome moderator. And yeah, I want to thank Lise for being there too, and thank all of you for coming over. It's been really fun and I really enjoy doing these, especially in these times. It's even nicer to catch up with everyone live once a week. So by all means, I hope you have a great weekend, a great week. Stay safe, wash your hands, and take care. So those are your parting words, Pico. Blip, 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 blip. Do you have anything to say? No? All done. Alright. Bye, guys.